I'm aligned with my purpose, there's a couple of things that have really surprised me. Things that were a little bit counterintuitive, things that were new, things that really surprised me. And these are like really granular, specific, small things. I was always looking forward to Fridays, looking forward to the weekend, looking forward to the holidays. Never in my life I was looking forward to Mondays. I cannot wait for Monday because I still want to create and I still want to do so many things. And yes, being in this island is fun, but actually creating the things that I want to create is even better. Welcome to Blistopia Podcast. I'm your host, Mercedes Castellani, life purpose coach, business owner, and your spiritual guide on all things mindset, manifestation, and purpose. This podcast is a space for deep reflections, meaningful conversations to help you expand your mind, dive into the depths of your soul, and create a life that makes you feel alive. Whether you're walking, driving, or simply vibing, take a deep breath and get ready to dive. Hello, my love. Welcome to another episode of Blistopia Podcast. I'm your host, Mercedes Castellani, and today I have a short and sweet episode for you. This is kind of like one of those light, fun episodes. And I have actually been thinking about this because now that I'm aligned with my purpose, there's a couple of things that have really surprised me. There were a couple of things that I was like, I didn't even know that this was possible. Things that were a little bit counterintuitive, things that were new, things that really surprised me. And these are like really granular, specific, small things. But I want to share with you some of the 4 things that really surprised me now that I'm fully aligned with my purpose, now that I'm fully living in alignment with my purpose, my soul's mission. So let's go very quickly to number 1. And the number 1 thing that surprised me is that now that I'm working on my purpose, that I'm aligned with my purpose, I actually look forward to Mondays, which is like, what? Before, when I was in the corporate world, I would have never thought this was possible. I was always looking forward to Fridays, looking forward to the weekend, looking forward to the holidays. Never in my life I was looking forward to Mondays. I don't think I had like the Sunday blues necessarily, but I was definitely not looking forward to Mondays. I was looking forward to Fridays and the weekends. And now let me share with you 2 things that happened. One that was very quickly, very early on, the first month that I started working full time on my business, and something that happened very recently. And these 2 moments really, really surprised me. So, you know that I um, quit my marketing director role when I was, so in September 2023, I finished. So I think it was the 2nd or 3rd of October, I started working full time on my business. So I worked for 1 week, and then my partner and I, we went to Menorca. And I remember we were there in Menorca and it was Saturday, and I could go back in time right now. And we were in the car, and I was in this fantastic island. We were having fun with another couple. And it was just like a really nice Saturday afternoon. And there I was in the car, and I really felt this thing. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait for Monday, because I still want to create and I still want to do so many things. And yes, being in this island is fun, but actually creating the things that I want to create is even better. So I was in Menorca with my boyfriend, with another couple, having fun. You know, the guys were doing surf. We were around the island eating fantastic food. And there I was, wishing that it was already Monday, because I wanted to go back into creation mode, because I was like, I just love this thing so much. I want to do it now. I don't want to wait until Monday. And I was actually looking forward. And that was the first time that I was like, wow, this is so counterintuitive. I never thought I could actually look forward to Mondays. So that was very early on. So, on my first month working full time on my business. And now, 2 years later, I recently did a trip with my family, with 7 women in my family. Maybe you saw it on Instagram. And it was my mom, my sister, my godmother, some aunties, a cousin. And we were in Croatia. And it was a Saturday. It's usually on Saturdays. Don't ask me why, but it was a Saturday. We had already been traveling for 2 weeks. Fantastic trip with my family. I felt so loved. I felt so united to these women in my family. It was a fantastic family trip. And there I was on a Saturday, 2 days before coming back to Paris, getting back to work. And I was walking, and at some point I was like, I cannot wait to go back to Paris. I cannot wait to get back into my jam, to get back into creation mode. Because the thing that happens to me is that when I take holidays, and when I take holidays, I take actual holidays when I'm not working. And I'm not working, I'm not creating, I'm not doing anything except for enjoying my holidays. And then all of these ideas start coming to me. Every time I travel, I get so many ideas. Oh, and I could do this and I could do that. And we could move this thing and I could change this thing and blah, blah, blah. I have so many ideas. So basically, every time I go on holidays, at the end of the holidays, I have so many ideas, so many things that I want to put in place that I'm like, I need to get back home now so that I can already start creating all of these things. And it's not from a place of, oh my God, I have to do all these things, like stressed, I need to get to do all these things. It's more like, oh my God, I have so many ideas. I cannot wait to get back into the office and actually do all of these things that my mind has been creating during these past 2 weeks. So that to me was very surprising. And it happened early on, very early when I was working full time for the business. And then it's also happened very recently when I'm like literally looking forward to Monday so that I can get back into creation mode because it's so fun and it makes me feel so alive that I'm like, I just want to do it. Like, I want to do it now. I don't want to wait until Monday. And this is something that never, never, never happened to me when I was in the corporate world. In the corporate world, I would show up on Monday and I was like a bit tired. I would grab a cup of coffee and then just get through the week and literally wait for Fridays, wait for the weekends, wait for the bank holidays, wait for the actual holidays at some point. But I was not looking forward to Mondays. So this is kind of like very counterintuitive. And when it starts happening, it's like, oh my God, like I actually want to get back to work. But this is weird. Like no one told me I would actually miss, I would actually miss this and I would actually want to get back to work. So that was very surprising. The second thing that really surprised me when I aligned myself with my purpose and I just started living my life, doing something that I love and helping women and growing this business. The second thing that surprised me was that I actually genuinely wanted to do the things on my to-do list. I remember when I was in corporate, I would have all of these to-do lists and I would have all of these. I would flag my emails on Microsoft so that I wouldn't forget things. And it was just like this sense of I should do this, right? You must complete these tasks. You must reply to all of those flagged emails on Microsoft. You must. But if I would really sit with myself, I didn't want it to do any of those things. None of them. None of them. Maybe there was one email to my team to develop my team that I was like, okay, this is really important. I really want this person to get this training and I really want to develop my team. Those were the only things that I actually wanted to be doing. But then replying to that agency, doing that thing, doing that report, preparing a presentation, delivering a presentation on topics I didn't care. I actually didn't want it. Genuinely in my heart, I didn't want it to see any of those projects come to life. And I didn't want it to do any of those things on my to-do list. And now I actually have, for example, my to-do list right here. And I actually genuinely want to see these things happening. Like I actually want to do that thing. Every item on my to-do list, I actually want to do them. I actually want to see them happen. I actually want to see them come to life. So yes, it's still a to-do list. There's still things you want to do, but I would say want to do. I want to do these things. I don't need to do any of this. There's no should, there's no must. There's want, there's desire. I want to bring these things to life. And this to-do list is just dumping everything in there, make sure I don't forget anything, and just allowing me to dump everything so it's not taking up space in my mind. And that's actually surprising. You see a to-do list and you're like, you know what? I actually want to do those things. I actually want to see these things come to life. So that's really crazy. The third thing that surprised me a lot, and this is going to be a little bit controversial as I say it, but I'm going to say it anyways, is that I was surprised when I started feeling in my body that my purpose was bringing me more joy than some of the things that brought me a lot of joy before. So when I was in the corporate world, I was doing my job, it was fine, like okay, we just do it, right? You just do what you got to do. You get through the weeks, you do what you have to do. And then I had like these little pockets of light when I was, for example, spending time with my friends, and that was fun. When I was on a trip, and that was really fun. I've always loved traveling. And those were like the pockets of light, right? The pockets of joy, the pockets of light, the pockets of lightheartedness that I had in my life. So I had this very boring thing, and then I had these pockets of light here and there, friends and trips. Now that I have my purpose over here, my purpose gives me so much joy, so much energy, so much fun, so much high. Like I'm just high on life every single day of my life that it's going to sound controversial, but my friendships and the trips seem a little bit more boring than what they used to be. Before, I was looking forward to meet that friend and have that conversation that would be about finally a topic that I would be interested in. And now I have interesting conversations the whole time, the whole week with my clients during the sessions. In the podcast, I interview the most interesting, intelligent people, kind people, and we just have the best conversations ever about topics that I'm so passionate about, and I just want to know everything and learn everything and share everything with you guys. So I don't need that one conversation with that one friend to be interesting. Like I'm having so many interesting conversations the whole week. And then regarding trips, it was like I think I was really longing for that sense of freedom, that sense of lightheartedness. But now I have so much freedom in my life. I design my own agenda, I design my own schedule. I decided that I'm traveling to Australia now. So I'm going to travel in Australia for 2 weeks to meet my coach, to meet the other ladies that I'm doing this coaching program with, this mastermind with. So I don't need that one trip to give me a sense of freedom and lightheartedness. Freedom and lightheartedness are part of my life. And actually, because what I do and my business has such a strong sense of purpose, then the trips, I still love them. I still love traveling, but they seem a little bit more futile, a little bit more senseless. Like there's not an actual purpose for the trips, but there is an actual purpose in what I do every day. And that's giving me the freedom and that's giving me the lightheartedness. So I never thought I would say this because when I was in the corporate world, my life was boring, gray, Microsoft Teams, oh God, Microsoft Teams, just Microsoft Teams, these notifications. And then I had these pockets of light, like friendships and trips. But now that my life is so colorful, nice, interesting, fun, it gives me freedom, it gives me lightheartedness, it gives me excitement. I actually prefer my purpose to my friendships and to trips. Like I would actually spend more time in line with my purpose rather than entertaining more conversations with more people, or rather than going on another trip. Like, it's fine, I've done those things. It's nice, but my purpose gives me so much meaning, so much joy, so much energy, so much freedom, so much lightheartedness that, yeah, like I have the best drug at home, really. The best drug is my business. So that's also very, very surprising, very counterintuitive. I never thought I would say this. I never thought that I would enjoy spending more time on my purpose, my business, than friendships and trips. That's very counterintuitive. And the fourth thing that really surprised me, it's more a matter of language. So ever since I am aligned with my purpose, the word work doesn't feel aligned. Like, it just gives me the ick, the word work, because I don't feel like I work anymore. And I know you've probably heard this phrase, like, get a job that doesn't feel like you're working, get a job that, you don't know it holidays from, blah, blah, blah. But this is so true. Like, this is exactly how I feel right now. And when people ask me, so what do you do for work? I'm like, what I really feel inside is I don't work, actually. I create. I have a business. I'm a business owner. So there's a verb, I create. There's another verb, I have. So there's an ownership, I have a business. And there's an identity, I am a business owner. But I don't feel like I work. Even though I put many hours into my business, I work Monday to Fridays, many hours per day, at least 8 hours per day. There are many hours of work, but they don't really feel like work. For example, if I tell you my day today, okay, just let me give you a very clear example. So I woke up today, I meditated, I took Amore for a walk, and then I had a call with my coach and all of the ladies that were inside of the mastermind, all of the ladies that I'm going to meet in Australia in 2 weeks. So we had a 2 hour and a half call, and it was just so interesting. I had questions for my mentor. She really helped me with some things. And then I was just listening to all of the other ladies who are like completely smashing their goals, who are growing their businesses. They're taking their businesses to to a next level. We were just having fun. We were laughing. We know that we're going to meet in 2 weeks. So we're just like extremely excited. And then I finished that call. That was a 2 hour and a half call, but I was there present, like really listening to what everybody was saying. So that was really fun. Then I had 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, I was creating a platform where some of my programs are going to be, so that everything is like much nicer, much smoother for my clients. And technically, it's not the best work in the world, but I had like my music. I was listening to Disclosure. I love Disclosure. So I was listening to Disclosure. I was just plugging all the things, putting all the things, and I had a lot of fun for 2 hours. It was really fun, actually. Then I had to get ready. So I took a shower, I did my makeup, blah, blah, blah. Then I recorded a podcast with a fantastic guest. We had a fantastic conversation, really soul to soul conversation. She really opened up. We had a beautiful discussion. And it was such an enriching moment, such a beautiful conversation. And I know you're going to love this conversation, but I also had such fun, and also such a beautiful connection with her heart. She's not going through an easy time right now. So I felt like we had this connection, and I was also with there supporting her during this tough moment. And even though it's an interview for the podcast, and of course, I'm not there to coach her, and I'm not her coach, but she's a human being and she's suffering. And I don't know, like, we had this beautiful connection. And I think because of that vulnerability that she showed on the podcast, because I was able to hold space for her, then the conversation was so much nicer and deeper than what it could have been. So that was really fun. And then because I was so high on the energy of that, podcast, I jumped into this podcast that I'm recording right now. And yeah, I'm having fun while I'm doing this. And then when I hang up with this, I'm going to take a little pause to rest. And then I have a coaching session with a client to finish the day. So you see how, yes, I've been doing a bunch of things technically. There's a lot of hours technically, but it's so much fun. Like it's not work. And for me, the word work is in an office, it's boring, it's gray. You have this HP computer, and then you have Microsoft Teams in there killing you, crushing your soul with each of the sounds that it's making. And you have to do things that you don't actually want to do. And you have to be with people you don't actually want to be with. And maybe you have a boss that you like. Maybe you don't like your boss. Maybe you like your colleagues. Maybe you don't like your colleagues. But it's just like, oh, then you go and grab another coffee because you're so tired, but you need to keep on pushing through. So you make yourself a second or third coffee during the day, and then you get back home and you're absolutely depleted. And I have spent maybe the same amount of hours, but I've had fun conversations. I've learned so much. I've laughed so much. I've created new things for the platform. I've had fantastic conversations with the guest on the show. I'm going to have another fantastic conversation with my client in the session. And now I'm just having a lot of fun while I'm recording this episode. So to me, the word work, it just doesn't represent what I do right now. Yes, it's true that technically it's not a job, but we could say it's work. But to me, just the word work, it doesn't feel aligned. For me, it's creation. For me, it's my business. For me, it's my purpose. It's not work. There's many hours, but it's not work. It's creation. And that's also crazy because before I would have never thought that the word work and the situation that I was living would be so foreign at some point, would be so far away, to the point that I would never miss it or ever want to get back to it. So that's also very surprising. So those are the four things, very tiny, granular things, specific things that I have been feeling that have been very counterintuitive. Like I would never thought that I would look forward to Mondays. I would have never thought that I was actually looking forward and actually wanted to do all of the things in my to-do list. I would have never thought that my purpose would bring me more joy than my friendships and trips, which are two things that I love. And I would have never thought that the word work would be so far away from what I do. So I just wanted to share this and to give you a real insight as to how it feels when you're fully aligned with your purpose. And by this, I don't mean that everybody needs to create their own business, and that you need to create a business. Like, not at all. Some people are going to find their purpose, and their purpose will lead them to another job. 50% of my clients create a business, and 50% of my clients, they find another job which is a lot more related to what their soul actually came here to do. So maybe this is not about, okay, because you have a business, you feel this way. No, it's because you're aligned with your purpose. You could have a job and still look forward to Mondays. You could have a job and love your to-do list. You could have a job and actually love it so much, love your team so much, love the project so much, that actually you prefer your job to your friends and to trips and to holidays. And you could have a job, you could be working, technically working, but still, what if it feels like creation? What if it feels like collaboration? What if it feels like moving the needle on a topic that you truly care about, that's truly creating impact, that is truly changing lives in different ways? So, this is my invitation for you to just consider which other micro, granular, specific things could shift in your life if you were truly aligned with your purpose. And of course, if you're ready to go into this deep quest, into this spiritual, philosophical identity question that is your purpose, I'm here for you. I am the life purpose coach you work with when you're ready to find your purpose. So if you're ready to go on that journey, just send me a DM. You know where to find me. Send me a DM. My DMs are always open. We can have a quick chat. You can let me know, what's going on in your life, how you feel in your current job, and then we can have a chat as to whether Path to Purpose is the right fit for you. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, just send me a DM and we're going to have a quick chat. Thank you so much for tuning this week. As always, it's been a true pleasure to share this space with you. I wish you a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you on the next episode. And in the meantime, in Blistopia we trust.